Hello everyone. Here let's discuss few of the functional tests. Function test, that is thyroid function test and adrenal function test. First let's see about the thyroid function test. So the probable questions would be like the first one, enumerate the thyroid function test, describe any one of them in detail. So first you have to give the assay of tests which is coming under thyroid function test, and also on your choice you can describe any one of them. So the thyroid function test includes the assay of hormones like free T3 and free T4. The amount of free T3 and T4 in a blood is found out. Then plasma TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone. Then binding proteins, TRH response test, radioactive iodine uptake, and then the detection of thyroid antibodies. Out of this, the TRH response test can be asked separately what it is. Then primarily done tests would be TSH and T3, T4. Free T3 and T4 would be the primarily done thyroid function test. So you can describe actually this about the free T3, T4 and also the plasma TSH. Depending upon the marks, you can explain these two. So let's see what is free T3 and T4. These free hormones are really active molecules, and it is the value is obtained by the very sensitive ELISA technique. The values of the free hormones is not affected by the amount of carrier proteins in the blood. So that is one of the plus point, that it is not affected by the carrier proteins. The free T4 constitute only 0.3% of the total T4, and the free T3 forms 0.3% of total T3. So free T3 and free T4 is different from total T3 and total T4. Variations in binding proteins do not affect the free hormone levels, and therefore more reliable in diagnosing true hyper and hypo functions. So hyper and hypothyroidism is detected with the help of free T3 and T4 values. Next one is plasma TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone. In primary hypothyroidism, the TSH level is elevated due to lack of feedback. In secondary hypothyroidism, the TSH, T3 and T4 levels are low. This could point to a pituitary or hypothalamic cause. Primary hypothyroidism, TSH level is elevated. In secondary hypothyroidism, TSH, T3, T4 levels are low. That is either due to hypothalamic and pituitary cause. In hyperthyroidism, that is due to the primary thyroid diseases, we can observe a high T3 and T4 level, but the TSH level is suppressed. In hyperthyroidism, which is due to pituitary cause, it is indicated by the high level of TSH, T3 and T4 levels. All TSH, T3, T4 levels will be high in hyperthyroidism due to pituitary cause. Next question, that is TRH response test or TSH stimulation test. TRH administration will stimulate the TSH production. When TRH is administered, the thyroid stimulating hormone production is increased. If hypothalamo-pituitary-thyroid axis is normal, then T3 and T4 secretion is increased. That is a normal condition. If the hypothalamus, pituitary and the thyroid axis all normal, T3 and T4 secretion is increased, and there will be a abnormal response seen during hyperthyroidism and hypopituitarism. In hyperthyroidism, negative feedback of T4 overpowers the stimulant effect of TRH. The thyroid hormones will be elevated. In hypopituitarism, the pituitary could not respond to the TRH, and the thyroid hormone level remains the subnormal. The pituitary is not activated, and the thyroid hormone levels remains the subnormal, in the subnormal range. An exaggerated response is observed in primary hypothyroidism since negative feedback effect of T4 is reduced. Next question is on the adrenal function test. Enumerate the adrenal-cortical function test. First test is blood level of cortisol. The cortisol normal range is 5 to 25 microgram per dl at 9 am and 2 to 5 microgram per dl at 10 pm. So that is a normal value of cortisol. First test on adrenal cortical function test, that is the blood level of cortisol. Give the normal range. The next test is estimation of urinary free cortisol. Urinary excretion of free cortisol. Plasma free cortisol is biologically active fraction. A definitive fraction of unbound cortisol is excreted in the urine, unchanged, and this fraction is sensitive index of adrenal activity. High levels seen in hyperactivity and low levels in hypoactivity of the adrenal gland. Next test is plasma ACTH. It is suppressed in the ACTH level is suppressed in hyperadrenalism and high ACTH in hypoadrenalism and also in Cushing's disease. Okay, these are the 3 tests in adrenal cortical function test. Blood cortisol, then urinary free cortisol, then plasma ACTH values. Okay, thank you.